Good people, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. So, I did a little bit of, some searching and a little bit of looking, on the so far what the Cowboys have done. And I wanted to look at a pretty important stat. Move that out of the way. So far this year, Ezekiel Elliott, who's obviously leading the team in rushing yards with 305, and Tony Pollard has 248. Let me just give you the stats so far for the first 5 games for Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Ezekiel Elliott, 81 carries, 305 yards. He's averaging 3.8 yards a carry. Tony Pollard, 44 carries, 248 yards, averaging 5.6 yards a carry. Now, it's easy to say if Tony Pollard was getting those same amount of carries as Ezekiel Elliott. Well, let's see. When you look at it, he would be having, if you take the same amount of carries and keep the same average per carry he has, basically he would have 453 yards rushing so far this year, which I believe that would be leading the league in rushing. And you would be correct, kinda, but the problem is Tony Pollard can't have 81 carries. He can't be having carries like that because he is a home run hitter. He's basically a complementary back to Ezekiel Elliott. He's the guy who will get a big run or so, and Ezekiel Elliott is a downhill runner who can wear defenses down, and get stronger as the game goes on. That's his style of play, that mean, bruising style of football. And Tony Pollard is more of the home run hitter. So I feel like Tony Pollard, he wouldn't last, getting the same amount of carries that Ezekiel Elliott is getting right now. He wouldn't last. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Right now, he's averaging around nine carries a game. And I respect that. I kind of wanted that. Not 15, 16 carries a game like Ezekiel Elliott is getting. Nonetheless, Tony Pollard does have a 100-yard rushing game this year, but you have to understand a lot of the yards he's getting, like I said, he's a home run hitter. So you see games like the game that he had, I believe against New York, while he had 102 yards rushing, 46 of those 102 yards came on one play. That's his game. And Ezekiel Elliott, he will get you those consistent yardage, 4-yard carries, 5-yard carries. And that's why I think we have the perfect running back tandem. You got one guy who can get you those consistent 4 or 5-yard carries. Excuse the sound noise in the background. But yeah, he will get you those consistent 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry. That's just what he does. And it's easy for him because he always falls forward. Every time he gets tackled, when he gets brung down, he always finds himself going forward. He's never going backward, so he's never going to really lose yards like that. And I feel like every team needs that type of running back. But every team needs that type of running back like Tony Pollard. You need to have your home run hitter, and you got to have your downhill running back. That's what you kind of need. But more importantly, what Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott both have that's really beneficial is that you give them the ball in space. I think that, they can be really effective. You give Tony Pollard a screen, you give Ezekiel. Both of them are really good at taking a screen and getting a lot of yards on that. They are both really good at that. We need to run more screens, but Kellen Moore just doesn't do that. Now, I'm not bashing Kellen Moore by using that statement because I think he's so far called a really good game plan thus far, since Cooper Rush has been our quarterback. And let me just say, don't be surprised if Dak Prescott does start against Philadelphia this Sunday because, you heard the announcers. They said when they asked him, how's your grip feel? Pause. He shook their hand, and it was they said it was a really firm handshake, and he just kind of smiled at them, like, how's that? And basically to try to send a message that, it's fine. I'm ready to go. I'm good to go. And so don't be surprised if Dak Prescott might actually start against Philadelphia. But I'm not going to lie, it's technically more 60-40. 60% Cooper Rush is probably going to start, 40% that Dak could start. It's kind of 60-40. I don't want to say it's 50-50. It's 60-40. It's still more on the Cooper Rush side, that he might start. But again, don't be surprised if Dak does end up starting. If he does come back for this Eagles game. And this is a really critical game because here's what you got to understand is that while I was, talking all that about, I wanted Philadelphia to win because I want us to get our shot at them and give them that first blemish on their record. But this is a really critical game because this will decide first place. Philadelphia's, yes, they're a game ahead of us and they are undefeated while we have one loss, but still, first place in the division can be decided in this game. If we win, we're both tied for first place, but we get the tiebreaker because of playing more divisional games, so we'll have the better division record. But if Philadelphia wins, now we have we have quite a bit of a gap between us and Philadelphia if they win and we lose, because now we're 4-2 and they'll be 6-0, 2 games now ahead of us in the division. So this game is really critical in not only possibly in the later on this season playoff standings, but could possibly decide first place in the division when we play them again in Jerry World in week 16. So obviously I have faith in the Cowboys that they can obviously beat Philadelphia. We have the better defense and we run a ball control offense that doesn't turn the ball over. And I would like for us to keep that up. Kellen Moore, keep on doing what you're doing. Let's keep this up. Even when Dak Prescott gets back, we need to keep this up. Obviously Dak is going to make us more explosive, but keep on doing what you're doing still, because it's allowing us to win games. Don't get cute and start doing some BS, okay? Just keep doing what you're doing. So, heading into this game, here's one thing that we need to take into this game. We need to pressure Jalen Hurts. You notice something in these games that the Eagles have been playing? Jalen Hurts does not like pressure. Every time he sees even one blitzing guy could be coming at him, and then he's just so quick to move out of the pocket and roll out over to that right side or left side, depending on whichever side the blitz is coming from. And which Dan Quinn can do if, like, Anthony Barr, for example, is blitzing straight up the gut, then we got a beeline to Jalen Hurts. You know, nonetheless, he's still mobile. He still will find his way. He'll still find his way to maneuver out of stuff, maybe. But as far as getting him rattled in that regard, oh, I definitely think we can do that. We can get him rattled, we can get him pressured, and we can get him frustrated. And that's going to be the key to this victory. I've never given Jalen Hurts more respect than I'm giving him right now. In order for us to beat the Eagles, we have to stop Jalen Hurts. We have to stop Jalen Hurts. Man, I don't forget about the defense. I'm not scared of their defense at all. All right, they gave up 35 points to the Detroit Lions, who scored zilch yesterday against the Patriots. I'm not scared of their defense, but I do have my concerns about Jalen Hurts. So if we can get some pressure, if we can get him rattled, we can, take care of him, then I think we can win this football game. And trust me, I have full faith and trust that Dan Quinn will dial something up to, do that indefinitely. So basically that's what we got to do to stop the Eagles. We got to stop Jalen Hurts. If we can do that, we can win this football game. So also, by the way, our little, how we normally do our review of the NFL week? Well, we're going to have to, leave that aside for right now. All right, I will make my NFL review and I will make my NFL Week 5 review predictions and my NFL Week 6 predictions all on the same day on Friday. So, sorry, but this is just basically, what has to happen, so, but yeah, that has been my time though. Like, subscribe. This is NFL Thoughts, out.